Hi, welcome back to my channel, Ren Country Sticks. In the last video we started this, let's call it a hiking pole. So the carving's been glued in. What we're going to do now is take all these corners off and everything, get everything nice and flush, clean everything up, and we'll look at popping a stick on. So the next job is, as I say, clean that up. Once we've done that, we'll be back. You can use anything really, file, Dremel, whatever you want. I've got a little tiny sanding drum, I'll probably use that, and we'll, as I say, see how we go on. So that's it for the moment, we'll be back in a minute. Right, okay, next stage. So we've now trimmed off the excess. I'll show you what we've used. Little drum sander, but so we've used little drum sander. Also use a file as well. Now the next thing now is to take the square edge off that, give it a bit of a rounded effect, because I think that'll be probably painted green. Okay, there we go. So we've rounded the edges off, and we can leave that now till we get round to painting it. Next thing, we're going to think about what we're going to do with this bottom end, and we'll find a shank and whether we're going to put a collar on or not. So the other thing we could do, I don't know how thick this wall is, you could actually sand some finger grips. I don't think it's necessary on this, it's quite a comfortable antler, but I have done that on others and it's quite nice. So there we go. So next thing, I'm going to find myself some hazel and decide what I'm going to do. The antler is a bit oval, it's not round, so if we do put a collar on, then what we're going to have to do is take one near enough the right size and then squash it in the vise just to try and get that shape there. And of course that goes to the hazel as well. We're going to have to try and shape the hazel. So we'll have to see what we've got and what's going to work best, because you don't want to be making too much work for yourself, but as I say, you want a good job. Now the other thing is we're going to put a peg in this to go into the hazel, and I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is drill as much of this out as I can and put a big wooden dowel in and then drill into that and put the peg in that, because this centre core, whatever you want to call it, is a bit on the soft side, and I don't know how much strength it's going to give a dowel joint. So that's something to consider. We'll be back soon. Right, okay, so what we've found now is I had an old ram's horn collar that I found, and that was ideal because I can heat that up and squeeze that onto the antler. So if I can get this off, and I'm not sure I can without popping it in the vise. No, we've just taken a wee bit of antler off, just to make it fairly oval, heated that horn up, popped it onto there, and what we've chosen is a piece of chestnut. I couldn't find any hazel which was sort of oval, but this chestnut's quite nice. So again, that'll fit there. So we need to now create a peg, and I think that'll probably look quite nice. I'm going to leave the stick as it is. It'll take on a pattern of its own as it's used. We're just going to put a ferrule on it. The next thing is to create that joint there, so you can see where we're going with this. The horn collar, I'm sure I've covered that in another video, but basically if you get a piece of scrap horn, you know, you get yourself a block and then drill a hole in the middle. You can put it on a lathe perhaps, or on a drill, and start turning that down until you get something that's a bit on the thin side. You're just got to be careful though. You don't want to be squeezing this on when it's cold, because you'll probably crack it. So you've got to make sure there's plenty of heat in that and it's malleable, and be very careful as you push that onto the antler. You don't want to break it. So that's where we are now. We're going to create the joint next, and we'll see what we're going to do with that. We'll be back soon. Right, here we are again. So that's just a tight fit there. We've created a peg. What we've done, we've cut some waste off this chestnut. I thought, oh, we'll use that chestnut and turn a peg on it. So I don't know whether I'll be able to part this because it's quite a tight fit, even although there's no glue on it. We'll show you what we've done. So obviously we've got a hole there. That's a 13mm hole. We'll take this collar off, and if I can get that out without breaking it. So that's about a 17mm hole roughly, and that's our peg. So that pops in there. As I say, it's that honeycomb is quite soft, so I don't particularly trust it. And then that peg fits in there, and there we go. So all that remains now is for this all to be glued up. We've got marks on the timber to make sure that everything lines up again. And I think the easiest way to do this really is as we put our glue on, to warm the horn up again, so that there we go. It'll just squeeze up over the antler, and then we'll leave it. We'll clean it all up, and job should be a good one. So there we go, folks. Back soon. Right, we've just glued this stick up. The epoxy's still wet. I need to give it another wipe. And one glaring fault that we've now found is that the dog's facing down. At the time of doing that antler, I suppose I never really positioned the handle to have the dog flat. That's the way it should have been. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm sure somebody will buy it. And we'll remember next time to be a bit more careful. Maybe what we should do is start with the joint and get that in the position it's going to be used. And then we can sort of flatten that top off. But anyway, as I say, it is what it is, and we'll just give that a bit of a clean now, leave it to dry, and come back and paint it when it's ready, and as I say, clean the rest of the stick up, put a ferrule on. So I'd be quite happy to use that. So that's it for now. I was thinking last night, what can we do for the next stick, and I've got something that might be quite interesting to some of you. It'll be timber, and makes a very, very nice stick. So we'll tell you more when we're ready to start. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Bye bye.